Hey, in-laws from the Pleasure Dome. How are you?
Good. Sweaty.
Well,
buzzing.
I'm not sweating too much now. I like mopped it down a lot.
I have wet areas in my t-shirt and my jeans.
Well, yeah,
other
jeans.
spots.
Yeah, but yeah.
Before we jump in, it was a thank you for that live stream.
Oh, thanks much.
It sounded fucking lovely. It looked lovely as well.
Oh well, yeah. You got a shout out to the guys at the studio. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a great job. Yeah, like brilliant place.
Absolutely.
Just outside of town, opposite the Thunderbolt in Bristol. It's like a venue, New Cut Studios. Yeah, it's a lovely place.
Yeah,
Hot
it's
room.
good.
But no, it sounds great. Like, so yeah, it's a pleasure to be able to play. Pleasure. I fucking.
So it's good to get back at it. So, welcome to Goth Kitchen. Thank you very much for agreeing to join me on my first time on a Thursday. Honoured. and the first time at 9 o'clock as well. Normally I'm asleep on the sofa by now, so you've done well.
we like a late night as well.
Yeah.
At 9. I mean, God,
Yeah.
So I'm in. Normally I'm in sunny Southend in Essex, but not today because it's fucking rained all day.
2 days ago, apparently, like about midday, I was wearing my shorts, then rained, and then summer was like over. It's like, oh, great.
I'm still wearing my shorts. I went to work today. Yeah.
I like to wear them around the house, but even that's not. I was gonna say to you this morning, like,
no, I need to get to October. That's the plan. That's only next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Wow, that's. Do you know what? You know when people are like, oh, like, you know, when you're like in the year, and then people say, God, I can't believe it's November already. At the moment, it's good. It's like, it's November.
Yeah.
We've nearly done it.
Closer to the end of the
But it's not November.
shit
It's
show of the year.
September. But like, yeah, I love hearing how.
Yeah, but Loz, it sounds like you're in the train of thought where you're thinking, as soon as this year's over, it's all over.
Oh no. Just get this year over and done with for now.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah,
Out of the way.
and then start again.
Yeah.
So guys, you told me you're in the studio. Obviously, how are you both? And what have you? I mean, obviously, lockdown's been kicking on for it seems like about 10 years now. But what have you been up to during lockdown?
Well, I haven't shaved these. I've let the sides of my hair grow. I shaved all my hair off, but I let the sides of my hair grow out for the first time about 2 years. I've gone grey. Apparently, that happened.
That's fine.
So it may have happened in June, but it may have happened. Like ages ago, but yeah. Apart from that, like, we started working again and that kind of thing.
Yeah, cooked a lot of bread. Just did like house stuff constantly because it's just like
I didn't. I was like, so we all lived together. Like, not all of us, but it lives with his mum and dad still. Yeah. That's
Roll.
It's so rock and roll.
cheap rent.
Cheap rent and like probably better food.
Yeah.
I sat in a garden, and then Loz and his girlfriend Amber did amazing stuff too. It was brilliant, and it was like, you know, being on one of those shows where you like see like a makeover, and today we're going to do the thing, and I'd be sat there in the sun, sometimes with beer, sometimes whatever, and watched it all happen. It's brilliant. So and then work happened again, and then we work in pubs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a joy sometimes.
What do you do for a living, Bobby?
I'm a barman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both work in the same pub in the Old Duke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. On Queen Street.
So was you furloughed out for most of the time?
I wasn't. No, like, I started a new job the day they shut pubs. So I moved back into, and then Boris was like, pubs are closed. And they're like, oh, we're gonna have to make you redundant. So I went on the dole. And then I've worked in loads of bars, and like when it all cracked on again, like Loz, there's a thing going at Loz's place, so like, great bar, like, you know, known for its music, and it's been there for years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've been doing that, and then started to play again, which has been really nice as well.
Yeah, I think as soon as we started, had the kind of green light to get back in the rehearsal room again. It was like,
You were there.
it was just we were there straight away, and it just felt fucking great, to be honest.
So how long? We'll talk about this more later. How long was that time that you didn't rehearse over this year?
Well, it was March. We did a gig in
the live stream we did was the last time we played together until July.
Yeah,
like, me and Noel together. So like we played, and then Harry moved in during lockdown. So then Harry was there, and then when we could have like Bert as the extra bubble thing. Yeah, that was like, so like that was, is it July now?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I don't remember. No, not now. Like when we started playing again,
It was too long, basically, Brian.
Yeah,
Fucking
4 months.
Yeah. But
that's fucking
yeah,
mad.
It was fun going back. Like the first time going back, it was like, straight into it. It was like,
I think if you ask any,
sounded better than
any
before.
any musician band, they'll tell you the same as well. It's just like
Because we'd all
did sound
practice,
better, yeah.
like we'd all been working, like there's no time, so we're like all playing, and like we all got this, obviously, but we all got stuff to play at home, and like, like you listen to more music, like it was like, and then coming back to it, it's like, I don't know, it may not have sounded better, it may have sounded worse, I don't know, maybe our memories are bad.
It must have just felt fucking good though, to hear it all again.
Yeah,
we were like naughty,
man.
and then like for a month we didn't rehearse.
Yeah.
For like the whole of August, we didn't play together. Weirdly, like we were allowed, but it didn't match up. Like our calendars didn't line up, and then it was like, lads, this is mad. Like, so we sort of like
Cracked down a bit.
got together and like got on with.
So
it.
if anyone is watching this that didn't watch your live stream or hasn't heard your band before, describe the Pleasure Dome to me.
Fast.
Yeah, fast and
Sometimes
frantic.
too fast and loud, and it like hurts your ears sometimes. It does mine. I don't know.
Yeah, frantic.
Hurts my
I'd
voice.
say is a good word to describe.
Yeah.
A good
Frenetic.
frantic.
I've heard that one as well. Frenetic.
Yeah.
People write back like some of the reviews. It's like you read them. It's like fucking hell. There's so many words that people are able to use. I'm just like, it's fast.
It's fast.
Loud.
It's fast and it's hot and it's fine. Yeah. It's good. So where take me right back to the start. Where did all this begin? When did you four meet?
Well,
me and you met first.
yeah.
No,
I've known Harry for a little while before, but you wrote some songs first, and then
well, we've known each other for like 5 years, maybe the year I moved to Bristol.
So I wanted to start like a doom band because I was really into Pigs ×7 and stuff like that at the time, and like really wanted to start like a doom band with Harry, and then like.
And I've been in bands before, and like that's how we met, like through like the music scene in Bristol, and like Loz and how we met at a gig, but like came much later. But I'd wrote these songs about a year ago. I moved in with Loz 2 years ago, and then about a year ago I wrote one song. I've been trying to write music again for ages, and I've never sung in a band before, like lead. And then I wrote, like, I'm trying to write things. It's all like, I tried techno for a bit, and it didn't quite work. And then I fucking wrote a song, and then 2 days later I wrote 9 songs in a day. Like some you've released, it's mad. Demos, like full demos, like drums, both guitars, vocals, in like 10 hours. It's mad, really. And then I was too scared to show it to Loz, because he was like, "Oh, it's not a doom band," and I was like, "This." It was much more like drum machines, like
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Do you ever give up smoking?" Like really singing into my headphone mic on my bed, And then I asked my mate who takes our photos, Jack, to like play bass for us. He plays a bit of bass, and then got like phone on drums and stuff. And then Loz heard the demos, and I was like sad about. I didn't want to like show him, so I was like, "It's not heavy or doomy or anything." And then he was like, "I want to be in your band." And then I was like, "Oh, I'm faster than a bass guitarist." So we tried 2 bass guitarists and Harry, because Loz like, "Oh, Harry's got to be in it." So yeah, we tried 2 basses, and it didn't quite work because Loz is the best bassist I've ever heard in person. And then we just went from there, really. And like the songs have changed, and like we write a lot, and like I write song themes to guys and then work it all out. And then Bert came. We had changed a few drummers, and then like Bert was a friend of a friend. We basically each found a drummer. I was the first one, Harry was the second one, and Loz, it was like, we fucking need another drummer. Like he's left, the drummer's left. And then Loz found one. It's like, "It's your turn," and that was Bert, and he's for the long time. He's been with us since February. And he fits our band the best.
It's proper.
So how long ago was this? What year are we talking?
So we like recorded in September last year, and then we recorded in. Oh, we didn't record then, did we?
First run of gigs in December, basically. So that's when we first played.
Our first gig was on election night.
Yeah, December.
Okay.
Yeah, we came on stage at 10 on the election night, just as we sort of found out we fucking lost. So I played a sellout show in the Exchange at the basement to our friends and friends of friends and stuff. And when we went on a little tour of Swansea in London, met the owner of the 100 Club in London without realising. He was asking me about the pedal board. And then old mate after the game was like, the owner of the 101 Club? Like, I was like, 101 Club? I thought you mean the 100 Club? And he's like, yeah. And then that guy left. And then we had another drummer who played 1 or 2 gigs with us and then left. And then we were like, fuck. And then we found Bert. And then we recorded. He joined us in February. We recorded in March, played a gig with him in March, and then locked down. Yeah.
It's been pretty fast and frantic.
It has, yeah. I mean, it's been not even a year since we like did our first one at gigs. So
no. Like we only started playing together in like with me, Loz, and Harry in like end of August last year.
Yeah,
that was the line. You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. We've been in bands for years. Like I'm 31, Loz is 32. Harry's I don't know how old he is. He's young though.
Child.
He's a young one. And then Bert is in the middle.
Yeah, 29, 28.
Something like that, I don't know. But no, like we like, I don't know. Once we realised there was a band and the sound, we all wanted to play. We all wanted to like know what we wanted to do. We just like worked our bollocks off. Like we know, like I won't say work my bollocks off. I fucking almost did. I had to have an operation on my balls last year. Anyway, it was very painful.
I imagine.
Yeah, oh, mate, like so bad. Harry's had to have the same thing. It's agony. Anyway, not because of the band. The band doesn't call.
Is it catching then? Coincidence.
Yeah, we just all worked too hard. Like I mean, you know, we've had good people around us as well. You know,
I think the last few months we haven't stopped. Like just constantly rehearsing. We've got things happening every month now for the rest of the year. So
we're fortunately we recorded in March. We recorded like 3 songs. And then the plan was we had a tour book, like UK tour, like we booked ourselves with our mates and one festival and all that kind of stuff. Like, and we planned to release the song, so at least we had music. That was the thing that sort of got us through lockdown, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been super lucky.
We did some acoustic streams and stuff. But yeah, we had the music recorded, which was like recorded at Invader Studios, like Jeff Barrow's studio, you know, Beacon, Portishead and stuff, with our friend James, who produced Breen Down. Which had its anniversary a couple of days ago.
So do you remember that? Do you remember that first rehearsal when something clicked?
I remember
this is sound good.
When we so every time we got a new drummer, it was like a step up. And it's like not that all the drummers like not to say that any of the drummers are bad because I've played some of the best. I've seen some of the best drumming I've ever seen in this band with the 3 drummers we've had. Literally, like honestly, like I mean that. But when it was with Bert, I remember there was a moment at Dockside Studios, like on the harbour side in Bristol, opposite Grain Barge. By the Banksy, with the earring, the lady with the pearl earring.
Full description.
Yeah.
Location there.
The coordinates are 301. And I remember we were sat outside Bert's having a cigarette, and I knew within like a second he learned all of our set in like a week.
Lovely.
He like we were outside, he was having a cigarette. He smoked straights because he's like
Marlboro Golds.
Marlboro Golds, loves it. And I only started a year ago though.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. And then he was like, I knew straight away. I think we all did. It was like he fucking like straight on the beat, you know. And then he was outside and he was like, well, I'm like, if you want me in, it was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please, will you join our band? And I remember that is so vivid. Like, and then, yeah, like we never really looked back. Like we played the gig with like Kid Capici. Kid Capici? Do you know them guys? Kid Capici?
No.
Decent. Like, they started a gig in a band called Projector.
Yeah, they're cool. Brighton guys.
Yeah, like, yeah, sick band. And then yeah, like it was locked down, but like we practiced loads before we recorded in March. So we played loads with Bert. Like we had the most routine and regularity. And we probably practiced more with Bert than we did with 2 other drummers.
Yeah,
in the space of about 6 weeks before we recorded. So yeah, like we all like, you know, we're friends of friends, like we're all friends and friends of friends. You're all sort of similar sort of group, and it just clicked. Like it's really, really good. Like we're really fortunate, and yeah,
I think it's the development of our sound as well. We're finally like getting to grips of what kind of band we are.
I've been learning to scream.
You really?
Well, I've been trying to learn in the shower. I don't think my neighbours appreciate it in the
I
morning.
was talking to.
No recess!
I was talking. I interviewed Ash from Sugar Horse, who's another fan. He's a good screamer. He learned in the shower. He learned from YouTube. He said, YouTube it. There's fabulous videos on YouTube to teach you how to scream. That's where he learned it.
Things like breathe from your diaphragm, and I'm like, I didn't know what diaphragm was. I knew what people talk about diaphragm, and people like breathe from your diaphragm. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, what the fuck is it? And then someone told me what diaphragm was and where it was. I was like, and all of a sudden I was like sat on my bed and I was like laughing to myself. I was like, fuck, I could do things. I'm not a good singer, man. Like I'm new to singing. Like
suits the band though. That's the best thing. It suits the band.
It does. It suits the band. It suits the sound as well, without a doubt.
I've always wrote and I've always sung to myself. I've never sung my own songs live. So like I try so hard, and I really do, and I always fucking do something like a week before we play that fucks my voice. Usually staying up too late.
But where did your vocal come from, Bobby? That style. Where did your vocal style come from? From influence? Because forgive me if I'm wrong, but I hear a bit of Pete Doherty in your vocal.
Do you know I've got a Libertine tattoo there?
Oh, there you go.
First ever tattoo is Libertines, or Libertine. I got it done in Barcelona by a guy called Carlos, and I was like 17. I was like sat in the chair. My dad fucking paid for the tattoo, and like he was like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like a 24-hour tattoo parlor. I was steaming drunk because my dad's and we were like sat there, and I was like, I want this there, and he's like, see, and I was like, no, I want this there. He's like, see, and he's massive, like black vest, like black hair, like slick back beard and stuff, like, you know, and grabbed my arm. I was just like, and he was doing like 5 minutes, and then my dad was outside, and he's like, "Oh, I'll get one as well if you get one." And I went out. He just sat there laughing at me.
I'll get one.
Yeah, I didn't get one. But yeah, I love Libertines. I do love him. Like
Joe Strummer.
Joe Strummer is a big influence. Jamie Lenman from Reuben. Maureen Reuben. I like some of his solo stuff, but like Muscle Memory's a great album. Some of his new songs are good. Like Joe and Idols, like the writing to me more really, like there was like I tried techno, I tried all sorts of mad music and stuff, and then I'd been listening to a Clash documentary on Spotify. My mate Paddy from Sands, Bristol band, gave me this documentary. He's like, mate, you gotta fucking listen to this. And it's like, it's a BBC one with like the guy from Public Enemy narrating it. And it's like an archive documentary of Joe Strummer, and you sort of like chart their progress and like, you know, from the start and like, all that sort of shit. And it made me, the Clash, like one of the first bands I got into when I was like 11 or something, you know, like I was obsessed with. And I'd been trying to work out how to write, and then I heard this like Clash documentary. It's like, I fucking used to be in like a band that like tried to sound like Liberty, not tried to sound like, but influenced by the Pete Doherty taught me how to write. Kirk Bain taught me how to play guitar, and Joe Strummer gives you the attitude. And I'd forgotten all of that, and then all of a sudden I like saw the Hives in Croatia, didn't we? We went over for a festival, and I just fucking was like, I just need to stop giving a fuck. Sat on my bed with my guitar, and I wrote that first song, and I just came from not caring, like seeing what Joe and the Idols have done like over the last 5 years in Bristol. Like, you just have to, because their sound changed so much, and like they just stopped giving about everything. Like it wasn't them. It was like they just like, I don't care anymore. Like, and like more so now, like the heavy stuff. And I'm just like, if I want to fucking play a song that's like one chord and I'm fucking screaming, it's like, if we're into it and we dig it,
that's it.
Love it. Like, don't care. Like, so yeah.
Because you mentioned screaming, how would that fit into your sound at the moment? Or do you think that's where your band might go to?
No, well, like love Queens of the Stone Age, like Josh Homme and stuff, and like all that stuff. And I think there's a balance that's to be had between like pop, like rock music, like, you know, songs that can be singles. I'm not saying pop, but pop as in radio playable. Yeah, like you can do both. And like some of the best songs, like you know, Jolie Lewis, like was a screamer. Like Little Richard was a great screamer. Paul McCartney's a great screamer, and you can get away with it, I think, if you do it right. Like, I'm not about like, I don't know, if it works, it works.
I still think we're not like, we've got heavy songs, but we're not like we're not like going to be a heavy band forever. Do you know what I mean? We're like, you know, it just fits in, mate, at the moment.
Basically. I write so much. Like I've got like in the last year I counted, there must be like at least, when I count, it's about 103. It's fucking loads of songs, like an all demos, and there's all sorts of shit. Like there's so much mad songs where like There's loads, and that's the thing's been so frustrating. It's like not being able to play, not being able to be together. There's so much there to like for us to work on. I don't know. There's all sorts of sounds. At the moment, we're enjoying playing heavy and loud. So it feels like the world needs a bit of like fucking loud.
Yeah,
anger, like frustration. It's visceral.
Well, there's a lot of frustration and anger in the world at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you've heard. Obviously, Idol shot their third album tomorrow. Ultra Mono. It's the heaviest and angriest they've ever been. But the timing is fucking impeccable. I mean, they wrote that album last September, wrote it and recorded it last September. But it couldn't have dropped at a better time.
Yeah, it's like crazy, the lyrics to Model Village, like I've been reading them as a poem like quite a lot, to be fair, because it's like you don't really get the enunciation. Not you do, but I'm deaf a little bit in my definitely here anyway. I need to read them, and I've been reading the lyrics to Model Village and how you had the foresight. Like I know you can see some stuff, but like it's more relevant now than probably when you fucking wrote it, and it's really. There's even a song with us. We have a song called Long, and it's a rant about. I went on holiday to Bridgewater, and it's like a West Country like town, like and it's a bit rough and ready. You know, there's a lot of poverty there, like a lot of like inequality, and there's a lyric in it about lockdown, and I wrote it in November last year, and I was like trying to be like a rapper, like. Bridgewater on the lockdown, Discuss Cosmetics on the lockdown, like not trying to, and then fucking lockdown happened. It's called Boris Johnson's hair's too long, and the news is too long, and all that shit. Yeah, and there
you go.
More sense now than before.
Fabulous. Where did the band name come from?
Say again.
The band name, the Pleasure Dome. Where did that come from?
I got into work, and I remembered a dream that I had, and I'm a seaside town boy, and I grew up around a lot of arcades, and I'd had a dream about this mad arcade in the future. It's like a mental, like huge arcade, and it was like in the future, and it was amazing, and there was loads of stuff like mad games you could put all the like Ready Player One sort of like crazy stuff, and it was called the Pleasure Dome. And I was like, we were looking for a band name, and none of these like anything that I'd ever said. So I googled Pleasure Dome, and then it had a poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge and Frankie Goes to Hollywood. And I'm half Scouse, and Samuel Taylor's Coleridge is like literally like 202 miles from where I was sat in work. He wrote that poem, and it talks about the Pleasure Dome. It's a poem called Kubla Khan in Bridgewater. That's why I went to Bridgewater to see his house, and he lived in Bridgewater for a bit, or near Bridgewater. So like I texted boys and I was like, I checked Pleasure Dome, like the Pleasure Dome. No band's called the Pleasure Dome. And I was like, okay, that's promising. So like message boys was like, oh, what do you reckon is this? And they all were like, yeah, it's great. And then instantly I didn't like it, and I've never liked it since. But I get it. Like people are like, oh, the Pleasure Dome. I'm like, yeah, it never looks good in text. TPD is not a pleasant thing to look at, I'll say. Like when you try and write it out, it always looks wrong. Like, but it's good, it's fine, it's whatever. The poem is brilliant, and Frankie Goes to Hollywood is like, you know.
Well, that album, yeah. I mean, I'm a child from the '80s, so that Frankie Goes to Hollywood album it's a masterpiece. It's a fucking classic.
Stories behind it, man. There's so many funny stories. Yeah, it's a nice nod, and it's like I like it, but I want it to be called Motorway, right? I still want to be called Motorway, and none of these like it. It's the first ever thought, because the song that the first beat I wrote was a song by Metronomy called Back on the Motorway. Really good album, their first album. No second album, but like Nights Out, the album Nights Out. The first album we had vocals, and there's a song called On the Motorway, and the drum beat is like dun dun cat dun 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 cat dun dun dun, and I just stole that and I made my first song on it. So I want to be called the Motorway, and it's like a motorway, like the Autobahn, like Kraftwerk. And then, but these are like, it's rubbish. No band's called the Motorway. If you want to be called the Motorway, you potentially the best.
Bobby, I like it, mate. I like it. It's good.
It's a good name.
It's a fucking good name.
Bullshit.
And it probably looks better as one word as well.
If the imagery you could do that, would be so good. And these sounds like the
Bruce,
Pleasure Dome. Sounds like a porn film.
Bruce Hornsby in the Motorway.
Well, you fucked it anyway now, so
it's
too far in now.
Yeah, too far in. That'll have to be your offshoot. Years to come.
Yeah.
A little side project. That's what it'll be. So, 2019, you released your first down. Have you released anything on vinyl? Or has it all been streamed?
All digital.
No.
All digital.
like Insane and Smoking, we recorded at our mate's practice room in London, or Josh, like
yeah, mate, Josh,
Swansea boy, and yeah, we released them in like December and January.
Yeah, Smoking came out first in the last year.
But there was 2 other songs we had recorded. One was called Jackhammer Think Tank.
Yeah,
that's I think that's on a B-side on one of the Bandcamp songs actually.
Okay.
But yeah, and then we recorded a song called Smash Glass, which we did release, but a different version. We re-recorded it with Bert. The first version was much slower, not really slow, but like much more energy. And the one we did with Bert. And then yeah, we recorded it in Bage Studios with our mate James. Literally around the corner from my house, sort of thing.
Hoping the next session we do, we're gonna get some vinyl. I mean,
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
it's expensive, man.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, surely all of your stuff recorded so far has all been self-funded and.
Yeah,
yeah.
We all work full time. Well, some of us will work more full time than others. Yeah, it's all.
Did you This Room Is Gold, was that recorded at the same time as Smash Glass?
Yeah, so we recorded 3 songs that day. We recorded all those songs. So This Room Is for Gold, there's no use for it. It's recorded live. That's just
okay.
Vocals are separate because I just move around too much, and I still think I make stupid noises in that fucking song. I laugh at the beginning. But the woo is the live room.
We're just that kind of band. Like we're a live band, so we want to sound live. You know what I mean?
Because go back to Idols again. That entire Brutalism album was recorded live.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fontaine
kind of vibe, isn't it?
Fontaine apparently recorded their first album in 1 take. That's the same take, and it's chopped up into bits. Like they had slightly longer breaks between some of the songs, but they press play or record, and then apparently that's what they did. Which is, I love that, because why shouldn't it be like that? All this bullshit of like fucking click track, and then it's like it's almost like it's like a robot, and like you want the groove. And to be fair to Bert, he's like fucking Ringo, like he's got a backbeat and his tempo doesn't slide at all.
I think the story with Brutalism, they recorded all the songs 3 times, and their producer was the one that chose the best take, because that's how it was.
It's the way to do it, because why not?
Definitely.
Like if you pride yourself on, people want to see you live, you'll get found out pretty quick if you're not doing that. Like there's a lot of bands that are producer led and like manufacturer sound, and then you go out on the road and it sounds like a different band, sometimes in a good way. Songs develop, but you want to be a band together, you know. Like,
no, I totally agree. It needs to work. It needs to be recognisable straight away live. It's like, fuck, I know that.
Yeah.
Rather than like, because sometimes it's like a half-hearted, where's this going? And you just
know what's going on.
Yeah.
So like I mentioned earlier about Breathe Down, you know, that song Beak one.
Yeah.
So James, who recorded that, recorded that session in exactly the same setup, and the setup of the mics in the room is to capture what's there. Like there's no trickery behind the scenes. It's like he's got everything, the positioning's mad, the screen's mad, but it's all done in such a way to capture the moment. Like, so like the sound of Beak is that, you know, that's just them in a room fucking jamming it out.
Yeah.
Over it, and it's haunting, and like and us in a room sounds like that, and like I think that's what it's got to be about. You get more personality. If you sat afterwards thinking like, do I want to sound like this? And it's like, well, that might not sound right with the snare or that cymbal being there. And it's like, you got to think about these things. Mate mine, Seb, French guy, lives up in Wrexham, where I used to live. He said once, you need to press record 100 times before you finally record. You got to know the song. You got to know the song, Rob. Yeah, and I agree. I think you got to.
At the end of the day, if you can all play the songs well, if you're well rehearsed, if you're tight, there's no excuses.
It is about the rehearsal, isn't it? It is totally, and that and knowing each other and relying on each other, and then it just happens. It just gels like that.
If you start slacking, you can notice.
Yeah, of course.
Lips, and it's like sounds sloppy. It's like it sounds like a shit version of our songs.
Yeah.
Like you've got to put the work in, put the time in, and then all of a sudden it's like everyone gets tight and everyone knows it and it's more confident, and then you don't have to. It just comes out of you, and you don't have to think about it. Like when you're sloppy, it's like, it's not good enough. You got to like spend the time, and a lot of time. Like that's like, I don't know. We play for like half an hour or something. the time goes into that. It's all enjoyable. It's like Bert says a great thing. Our drummer, he's like, it's the best kind of work. It's hard work, but it's the best kind of work because we fucking love it. Like it's not that we don't always enjoy it. But, yeah.
So what's next? What's the? I mean, if there was no COVID, if the Miley Cyrus virus fucked off tomorrow.
I think she's great. You should watch her Joe Rogan podcast. She comes across brilliant. I thought she was sick. But anyway,
where are you going next with your band?
We're recording in Brighton.
We're recording next year.
We've been told that COVID won't shut the studio down. We're recording at Brighton Electric with Theo Verney. He produced Egyptian Blues recent EP.
Hotel Lux. Pip Blom.
He's recording with them at the moment. So I don't know if I should say that. I think
you've said it.
It's too late now anyway.
Fucking hell. He probably said it, but he told me. Yeah.
But we're going down there for a day, end of October,
to do two songs in a day.
Yeah, 2 new ones. And then hopefully, well, we're not sure what's going to happen yet, but hopefully we've got some.
Don't know when they'll come out, like maybe this year, maybe next year. See when the time's right. Like we have to give ourselves a bit of a run at like videos and stuff. Like
it's just
like, you know,
obviously normally you release something and then you've got a live.
You go and promote the fuck out of it, yeah.
So, but obviously
we've got some festivals next year.
Got some stuff coming in for next year.
We've got some things booked in. Can we say? Probably not actually. We've not been told to announce, have we?
No, not yet. But
we've got some festivals. And like we were meant to play. We can say we were meant to play Left to Die in Holland.
Yeah.
But because of the like quarantine thing where you come back from the Netherlands, we can't do it. Like we've got to work. So like.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks. It's really annoying. Like John is meant to play it, and I don't know what's going to happen. I think.
It's next month. It's like in 3 weeks or something. So, but
I'll fly to work.
Is that going to happen? Sure. Is that going to?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
don't know. They seem fucking adamant. Like the emails are like.
They're. You've got to admire their perseverance. They're clearly like.
Apparently, in Holland, with the social distancing, they can still do the event, even with the new regulations. But fucking a day's a long time with COVID in the world. Like,
I think it's like
so much can change.
50% of the bands playing are like
British
from out of Holland.
Yeah, or like Germany.
Yeah,
and apparently it's different if you're on the continent. I don't know, but
I don't know how you could take a couple of weeks off work at the moment. I mean,
exactly. You can't, can you? Because life's got to carry on, even though you're in this situation. And then it worries me that Boris or cunt or whatever you want to call him, there's that these new guidelines, these new restrictions are now going to be in place for 6 months. Yeah. And it's like that's fucking February.
Well, these restrictions that might change fucking next week, man. Like 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks in it. It's all because the virus takes 2 weeks. They're doing 2 week measurements.
Yeah.
So like everything changes in 2. So you got to just
Before we get onto my quickfire round, what's been your highlight of the band so far? Apart from this, obviously.
The first one I thought of is when I moved down from Wrexham to Bristol 5 years ago, and I had a magazine, DIY magazine, and it had Slaves on the front. It was that summer 2015, and I saw Slaves that year, like before Cheer Up London came out, I think it was like that year, and it just fucking blew me away. My mate's band Doppelganger supported them, and they came on. It was just like, oh man. And I was moving to Bristol, and it's just like, if I could ever be on the front cover of that magazine, that is like a mental, like, because I moved down with a different band, and like that is, if that happened, I don't know what I'd do. And then the band had started, like, this is 5 years later, and then we released our single Insane, played at Rough Trade in Bristol, and we got a message off DIY magazine, like an email off them, and they were like, hey, can you come and play our independent venue week gig in Bath, like in a week?
Yeah.
And it was like
Sporting Team Up Happy, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sporting Team Up Happy, and it's like fuck. And then we went and we met like the CEO, like Rupert, and he was like talking to us and like knew one of our songs, like knew the words, like sing along with, and like it was just like fucking mental. Like it was like,
they put us in the magazine, right? They did a little review.
Well, I don't know if it was on the website. And then we got put in, they featured us, well not featured us, but they wrote about this, the live stream we did. It's mad.
It's just the little things for us, you know what I mean? Like we got we got played on Six Music as well, which is thanks to Arlo, White Slice Punk. Got played on Lauren Laverne's show because he chose our track to play. So yeah, like we can't thank him enough, obviously. But that was a big moment for us. Like
I was sat on my bed listening to Lauren Laverne on my phone, on the same bed that I wrote the song on. It was mad. It was mad. I was like, fuck. Oh, I don't know why I just forgot. Maybe it's I think he said swear words.
I think he said swear words before.
He's spoken all sorts.
Yeah, we interviewed him in here and I swore. No, I didn't actually. I'm lying. All day I was panicking about swearing in front of him, and I didn't. I've done the whole interview about swear, which is, for me, it's fucking good.
Yeah, man.
He's a good boy.
He is, yeah.
We played at a private gig for him, and like we invited. So like where we rehearse, there's like a separate room, like a control room, in Matt's garden studio. He like went in the live room, and he stood. That was in like we'd done like one rehearsal, I think, and like he watched us through the little window through 2 doors, like barely about to hear anything, to be fair. But he like rocked out, and that's like in terms of playing a gig for a person, it's the closest we come playing for Arlo and his family, and like those moments, it's like no one sees that. Like it's like it's just I love it. Like it's why you do it, because it's hard, and like it's more hard for everyone at the moment, life in general. So it does get tough, and those things happen. You like, this is sick. Like, make a little kid like
makes it worth it, man.
Give himself a headache.
He loves it. When we interviewed him, he had a little a pleasure known badge on his t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what we give him on that day. And we give him like a t-shirt, and I give him the lyrics to "This Room Is for Gold" and "There's No Use For It." I put them in a frame for him, and like it was like the ones I'd written like on my bed, and I wrote it. And the lyrics are like longer, so the original lyrics were is. The way I look at you reflective of the way you look at me. Do I want to wait in line for another cup of coffee, or is the smell of fresh coffee too much to take? Like, it's really long. Do I want to wait in line? Do I want to wait in line? Yeah. So like he was like reading. He's like, why is it about tea and coffee? Like, oh, mate, it's called editing. And then his mum was like, you've been teaching about editing with the magazine. So I was like, yeah, I'm like, always teaching, mate.
He's gonna do so.
He's a legend.
He's so determined. It's brilliant.
Do you remember what you were like when you were in year 6?
No.
How is it possible?
I was eating mud, probably. Literally.
He might eat mud. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's the secret.
Listen, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this chat. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. Well, you're now going to go through my quickfire round, because you have to. Okay. So no thinking. They are literally stupid questions. Okay. But straight off the top of your head. Bobby, you're going first.
Okay.
Favourite Idols track?
Idols chant, 100%. Best backing vocals. Hey, there is a man on the sun. Legend, what a genius lyric.
Loz, favourite Idols track?
The gold.
Sing it.
Sing it, Loz.
Softy EP, the first EP.
Oh, the Queens.
Hell of a bass, that fucking bass sound. Whew.
Yes, absolutely. Bobby, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't help it. Like, if you're on a bar, on a late night, working at a pub, and you don't want to get pissed, and you need the energy, mate, if you have full fat Coke with a bit of lemon and ice, oh my God, it sorts you out. It was a tonic. It's invented in Victorian times. It's a tonic. It's useful.
Thank you very much for that. Loz, who would play you in a movie?
Ryan Gosling.
Oh my God.
Bobby, what's your pet hate?
Oh man. Oh God, see, the first thing that came to my head was students. But that's because they've been annoying me at work, man. Can I tell a story?
Yeah, of course you can. Go on.
Last night, right, I was working at the pub. Is this bad if I tell this?
I don't know.
But Bobby, bear in mind that the students might be your audience.
Oh yeah, maybe not then. Students are cool, right?
No,
we love students.
She was basically a student spilled a drink on herself, and she came to the bar and asked for another one for free. And I was like, "No, you spilled it on yourself." And she's like, "Yeah, but I want the place to have a good reputation." I was like, "Yeah, but if I crashed my car and went to the dealership, was like, oh, I've crashed my car, can you give me another one?" I'd be like, "Yeah, you can buy one." Like, I'm not gonna just the cheek of it.
So your pet hate really is just that girl.
But not very nice customers.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. Loz, Oasis or Blur?
Oasis.
Well done. Right answer. Bobby, early mornings or late at night?
Oh, it depends if I've been to sleep. if I've not been to sleep, I don't mind an early morning. Like, oh, that's the birds. And it's like, oh, nice.
Nice.
So a bit of both.
Lost. What's the worst thing you've ever bought online?
It's a lot to pick from.
Oh my god, yeah. That. Oh, crikey.
There's been that many.
There's been a lot of it.
Something you bought and then you got home and went, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, and then sent it back immediately. Bought some potato sacks recently.
All right.
Did you?
Sent them
Did
back.
you want them? Did you say why?
I didn't know about that.
Well, we got them for a music video, but it didn't work out.
Oh, we're going to have a sack
My
race.
girlfriend Amber was like, "A parcel just came to you, a potato sack." I was like, "Yeah, about that."
Bobby, what's your favourite film of all time?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest came into my head first, yeah.
Okay.
Fiction.
That's fine. Loz, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Bobby, Westlife or Boyzone?
Westlife.
Always Westlife.
Yeah,
Always Westlife. Loz, what's the celebrity you'd most like to meet?
Neil Young.
Ooh.
Is he a celebrity? Oh, I suppose he isn't.
Yeah, to me.
Well, we'll go with that. Bobby, what's the best album ever?
Oh, Dark Side of the Moon came straight into my head. Because it's an album. It's a full album. It doesn't stop.
It is.
It's amazing.
Loz, your dream support act? Who would it be?
Biffy Clyro. I'm a sucker.
How many times have you seen Biffy Clyro?
Over 40. Yeah.
40.
43 times.
How
Not
many you got? All the t-shirts, all the badges.
Yeah.
Mate.
Bobby, if you could be in another band, what band would that be?
Oh, Led Zeppelin straight away.
Clyro.
Biffy Clyro. No, Led
Loz,
Zeppelin.
Loz, your favourite Spice Girl?
Posh was my favourite.
Fucking hell, mate.
Next.
No one says Posh.
I never got a reply.
No one says Posh. Bobby, who would play you in a movie?
Fuck, I don't know. God, I don't know. Michael Cera. Definitely. He'd do a great job, probably.
Loz, what's the one song you wish you'd written?
Wildflowers by Tom Petty.
Nice. Bobby, superpower.
We talked about this before.
We're just about half an hour ago.
Teleportation.
Okay.
Ready for that one.
Loz, what's your pet hate?
At work, when people chop the limes and they chop them fucking massive like that. So you're like, do you want a
lime?
Do you want a lime in your Corona? Yeah.
Oh, you don't go in.
Fucking stabbing in.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bobby, what's the strangest thing you've ever eaten? One of them big fucking limes.
Yeah.
What?
One of those big limes.
Oh, limes.
Loz, what's the best thing about Bristol?
I mean, the music scene and being close to the river.
Just Bristol, man.
Two things.
It's so good.
Bristol. Bobby, what's your favourite Spice Girl?
See, I thought Scary Straight way before, but I had a real big crush on Baby Sweat.
Bobby, Marmite?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Loz, Marmite, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Well done. Well done. Loz, Oasis or Blur? I've had that one. Bobby, Oasis or Blur?
See, I thought Blur straight away, but I love them both. But I just think some of it's all good, but like, yeah, there's some really good Blur songs. Like Oasis is very similar. There's a lot of stuff, but Blur did loads of mad songs. Like it's like they were like did like crazy genres, and I like listening to them both. But if it was a band, Oasis. If it was the music, Blur.
The correct answer is Oasis. I'm just letting you know.
I know, I'm sorry. I go long-winded.
Loz, what's the best album ever?
After the Gold Rush, Neil Young.
Oh, it is, isn't it? It's there. It's up there.
Yeah.
Well done. Bobby, what's your favourite foot?
Foot?
Yeah?
Oh, see, I got a lot of respect for my left foot.
That's all I need to know. Thank you very much. Loz, what's your favourite film?
Back to the Future.
Oh, nice. Nice. Bobby, Harry Potter or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Well done. Well done. Loz, what's the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Probably a raw snail off from my garden when I was about Probably in year 6, actually. That's why I can't remember it. Yeah,
well, that's what you were doing when you were 10.
Yeah, not being a budding journalist.
Bobby, what's the best thing about Bristol for you?
Oh man, everything. I love it. I love it. I love everything in it.
Good answer. Loz, what's your superpower?
What did I say earlier?
Think about it.
To fly.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, love to fly.
I always think that'd be cold up there.
But you've got like a skin tight super costume on, you know?
Yeah, lycra though, isn't it? It's not really going to keep it that warm. You'd want fucking jumpers and shit, wouldn't you, if it was up there? Loz, your last question. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Right now, warm.
Warm.
Anxious right now.
Anxious. Crikey.
Warm and anxious, mate.
Warm, anxious, and Welsh.
Bobby, describe yourself in 3 words.
Ah, I thought I'd escaped it.
No.
Relaxed and really stressed out. That's like 5 words. I'll do.
Loz, describe Bobby in 3 words.
Relaxed and really stressed out.
Bobby, return the favour. Describe Loz in 3 words for me.
Taller than me.
And warm.
And warm.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you very much. That comes to the end of me chatting to you tonight, and you can now fuck off home and put your feet up because you've had a busy night.
Pack down.
Pack down and beers, I think.
Oh, fucking hell, pack down. Yeah, that's a point. And the other 2 have been doing that for you. When you've been sitting there.
Go in, it's going to be completely clear.
But it might not have been done.
Yeah. Thanks for having us anyway, man.
Thank you very much for joining me. I can't wait to come and see you live wherever it will be. I will find you without a doubt.